So this is my second flashback, and I don't go all the way. Like I said, I've never dealt with it, and I'll deal with it in my time, my way. Don't be calling me. Don't be offering me counseling. I got this. 2007, 2008. I think the one thing people in media don't tell you, and it should be obvious, but it needs to be articulated, is it doesn't matter what you receive. It has been filtered 3 times, at least. Now, let me explain. When you see a picture in the newspaper, remember that the photographer has probably snapped that same picture 4 or 5 times, okay? Just click, 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 click. And then when he came back to whichever newsroom he works for, there's an editor who filtered and figured, what can we publish, okay? And then decided which one is palatable. It's like we chew, and like a bird, we only give you what we think you can swallow, okay? So I need you to understand there's things I saw and heard. And what you heard on the other side of the radio is what I believed in the moment was enough. The rest of it is still in my head. I can call up any file. And I remember one of the people who needed to get counseling post-2008 were photographers, media photographers. Some of them probably haven't dealt. And they will when they're ready. They have to. The trauma is real. I know. I tried to resign before 2013. I didn't want to do another election on air. And I finally got off air because I cannot, I don't have the capacity to live through it. Let me explain. As a gentleman from the IEBC was being looked for, and finally the news came through that he was dead in the most gruesome manner. I was happy I was not on air. Because you deal with it from the moment the news breaks, okay? And if it breaks at 4 in the afternoon, your head synthesizes it and runs it through, because you have to figure out how you relate the same thing tomorrow morning, which means you don't sleep that night. You're on the go. And because it is the story of the moment, you have to deal with it for 4 hours. But anyway, I want to take you back to 2008. It was the year that Kalonzo took the vice president position, and the rest of us decided to start calling him names, and I still wonder why. You see, he was looking for a job when he was campaigning, and he got one. So for him, mission accomplished. What were you doing? In the years 2008 to 2012, 2013, we hardly had an opposition in the country. In fact, the opposition in the country at the time was the Fourth Estate. We hardly spoke about corruption because everybody was at this table eating. If we spoke about corruption, we did a throwback to Moi. It kept being linked. So actually, we spent 10 years in Kibaki's 2 terms revisiting the ghosts of Anglo leasing and Goldenberg, because that was the only corruption we were willing to talk about. Because when the guys at the table understand that this pie has been shared a certain way, let's bring up other demons. Think about it. You see, for me, and I always say this, 4 elections, 2 referendums. Oh, please, don't let the eyelashes kid you. It's the decoy. I'm sharp as F. Okay? Corruption only matters when you or your friends are not eating. It's that simple. Our corruption issues in those 2 terms were Triton, Anglo-leasing, Goldenberg. Yes, there were issues we had to deal with. But don't tell me for 2 seconds nothing was being stolen during those days. And I guess for me, my simple message is don't joke with politicians. They're 2 steps ahead of you every day, all day. Don't. It's not personal. It's politics. Does this mean you don't do your part? Yes, you do. The problem with us is that we think the way we engage in this country is to get all excited for 6 months, go to the ballot, and then we're done. For me, work starts on the day we cast the ballot. This madness that happens before is irrelevant. I stay plugged in for 4.5. You plug out for 4.5 and then catch feelings in the last 6 months.